Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right, we got a interesting show. So, for those of you that don't know, I'm a little under the weather. I have some sinuses things going on, so y'all gonna have to bear with me. I do apologize, but I want to wear my sweater today, the one I was talking about yesterday. Trump is your president again. This is the one that I was wearing at the hands off event right there on front stage. This is the sweater that I was wearing. And I was up there for like 3.5 hours before they even realized that I was there, the ones that's organizing. But anyway, if you like my beautiful sweater, go to my website. You can still go there as of today. My website is still up. And I want to say thank you. We got Brett Miller up there. I want to say thank you to everyone who's supporting me. They help me keep my website up so I can still have my beautiful hoodie up there, my beautiful shirts like this and others on my website. And actually, someone, Mark, reached out to me earlier today, and he's told me that he's going to donate monthly, Shannon, to my website. And I'm just so thankful for everyone who's been helping me out all this time, and who's been doing it, who's been supporting me. If you could, Shannon, we could put the Gifts and Go website up there, because people are actually supporting me, and I'm happy. I'm not surprised, because I know God's people are out there. It's just with the censorship still taking place, they prevent a lot of people from seeing my content, and they, so that way you can't support me. Don't support me, and that's their whole goal, is to prevent you from supporting me. So I wanted to say thank you to everyone who's already gone over to the givesendgo.com/website to support me. And people are already starting to support me. I need your help, right? I didn't go like above and beyond. I just asked with like the bare minimum what I need to keep the website going. So I'm asking you to help me out. Typically, I would never even ask for help for something like this, because me being a content creator, creating content on Facebook and YouTube and other platforms, that, from the ads that get played on my content, those pennies add up, and I would just take those pennies and put them right back into here. But ever since Joe Biden went into office, the decline of people being able to see my content went down dramatically. I mean, they just really hammered me hard. And I know that I'm not the only one. But nonetheless, it is what it is. And I'm just asking everyone, if you find it in your heart, please help me. Thank you so much. Can you see the names on there, Shannon? I can't see them from here.
Well, we have Cynthia Duraco, and then somebody did anonymously.
Okay, well, cool.
The one person that did anonymously said, "May God be with you." So,
well, I greatly appreciate it. A lot of people don't, and I get it. Some people don't want their names to be on there, and I completely get it. I mean, I do. I really do. I understand, because I've had people say, well, I'm going to support you, but I can't let, my family members know, because the way they will react with me. And I said, this, it's sad. I have family members right now that won't even talk to me. I have family members right now that rejected me because of what I'm doing. And I haven't done anything wrong. I've just showed my support for my country and my president. And of course, Trump is your president again. Okay, let's get on to some of this stuff. And supposedly, again, excuse me, I got allergies going. I got my box of clinics here, so I'm not gonna, blow these shotguns on a camera here. Hey, if I can't talk about myself, who can, right? Come on now. Come on.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna do it on camera or anything, but I got a cough going on here. It's allergies. It's kicking my butt. This never happened when I lived in California.
It's pollen season.
Oh my goodness.
It's the cedar, I think is what
cedar
that
the
gets
cedar.
us.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we both have headaches.
Oh my goodness. I'm like, ooh. All right. I should have got some hot tea before I came on, but then, my sweater make me hot. All right. I'm
Play some videos so you
trying
don't
to keep it
have to
going.
talk.
Yeah. Okay. Press secretary. Ugh, if I can get it out. The press secretary might be coming on about 30 minutes from now. About 30 minutes. So if she comes on, we're going to go to her, okay?
Yeah, I'm sure she's going to be talking about the tariffs
Yeah.
because, it's the topic of the week right
Yeah.
now, or weeks,
So,
I should say.
yeah, that in today, we got word that President Trump's team will take it as a win. The Supreme Court, majority of the Supreme Court, ruled in favor of President Trump deporting these hardcore criminals. So that's a win. It is a win. I mean, it's not like a hardcore win, but it is a win nonetheless. But the shadow government is still on top of trying to stop President Trump. So the Democrats are having this hearing today, and they're calling it Democrats. Of course, they forgot to put the N in there. Okay. The Democrats on Trump's agenda and rule of law. They're basically, now, for those of you that didn't see this before, the Democrats created, or they didn't create it. Well, they did create it, but it wasn't anything new. It's called the shadow government, and it's basically the deep state. So the shadow government is having a hearing, and they're trying to tell everyone like what they're doing is really official. Let me remind you, the Republicans currently control the House and the Senate. If any actual hearings that are valid that take place, it would be held by the majority of the party that's controlling of the House or the Senate. In this case, the Democrats are getting together to have a hearing and making it look like it's official. And they're basically on here complaining about President Trump protecting the American people, about President Trump bringing jobs back to the American people. This is what they're complaining about. They don't like the fact that everything that President Trump is doing, because, for one, it makes them look bad. Two, it makes America look great. Three, do I have a three? I mean, this pretty much covers it. They don't want this country to be great. So I'm going to play some of this for you. This is earlier today, just a couple hours ago, happening today. I want y'all to listen to what she says, because she's so mad that that President Trump is ignoring, he's ignoring this shadow government. And this is what they're really upset about. President Trump is not ignoring the law. President Trump is fulfilling the law. Does that make sense? President Trump is fulfilling the Constitution the way the Constitution was written. And President Trump, being the top law enforcement in the land, it is his job to do this. It is his job to do what he's doing. So listen. And I got something I want to share with you after I show you this video.
That's exactly right. It's not an existential crisis where they're going to lose some money. We're talking about the rule of law. It's disgusting. And the courage that you have to be here when so many of your senior colleagues say nothing and grovel to a would-be king speaks volumes about your integrity.
Oh, my goodness.
We're in strange times. There were protests across the nation. This weekend, the Chief Justice of the Vermont State Supreme Court, who, trust me, does not usually comment on political matters, he said, quote, "No prior administration has taken such concerted action against the bar. An effort to erode an institutional pillar designed to check abuse of power." When the Chief Justice is finding his voice and speaking publicly, you would think that some law firms could do the same.
So is she suggesting that the Chief Justice is now an activist? I mean, that's what it sounds like, because every time these lawyers and these judges, they intervene, they're not on the side of the law. They're on the side of the radical left. They're being activists. That's why they're calling them activist judges. They don't care about the American people. They've made this abundantly clear. The fact that they're on here fighting for criminals, the fact that they're fighting for unlawful acts says a lot about these people.
And listen to this, Will. Forbes actually played this video. They streamed this, I guess, yesterday. And they labeled it.
Was this yesterday or today?
It says Monday.
Okay.
It says
I missed it.
It says congressional Democrats held a shadow hearing on Monday.
Wait a minute. This is on Forbes.
Forbes has
and they
this
said
on
a shadow
Forbes News.
hearing.
Yep, they said it.
So there it is. That's the shadow government.
A shadow hearing on Monday entitled Restoring Accountability, Exposing Trump's Attacks on the Rule of Law. They're trying to have their own government.
How do you have a shadow government when we have a U.S. Constitution?
No GOP is there. No dissenting opinions, right? It's all of them having this, and it looks official. I don't think they should be able to do this. I don't think
C-SPAN streamed it.
Right, Spanish streaming it. There's no GOP in there. They're using our government facilities for a shadow hearing.
So how much is the taxpayer paying for this?
They're paying
because somebody's paying for this, right? We're paying for this. How much is it?
The paperwork that was probably printed.
How much? I mean, we're paying for this. This is straight up the shadow government. And a lot of people keep looking the other way when it comes to this. And they're on here ranting about what they want President Trump to do. Like they believe that they know what's best for the country. The reason why President Trump had to be president is because of what these people have done to the country.
When it's just about the almighty dollar. I want to conclude by saying Trump and all of his enablers, whether they're in Congress or whether they're at these law firms, seem to think that they can outrun this, that somehow we're going to ride this out. We're not going to ride this out. It's not going away. It's only when good people stand up and say, no, I refuse to bow. And my hat is off to all of you. You are showing courage that so many people in this moment are not. And I'm going to be able to go home this weekend, the end of this week, and talk to my two kids. I got 2 high school students, and they're going to want to know that there are good people doing the right thing, and I'll be able to tell them about this. I yield back.
Senator Hirono from the great state of Hawaii.
Really? Really? Yes.
They have all these people, they have guests there, they have an audience, and it's all about left-wing tactics. It's about we hate Trump and what he's doing. This just shows this is a tyrannical government. They're saying we don't care if the other side of doesn't want to have a hearing.
It's not even.
We're going to have our own hearing, push our own narrative.
Yeah.
We're not going to have any dissenting voices. What is this?
So, if I'm not mistaken, this was about some of the people that was in USAID that was relieved from duty. Some of the people in the government positions. One lady that's sitting there, Shannon, she was fired because she would not do what the DOJ told her to do. So if you're not complying with your bosses at any company, I don't care what it is, if your boss comes in and they tell you, or you being the boss and you have employees and you give them a directive to do something and they purposely don't do it because they say that it goes against what they believe. I mean, let me give you a lame example here. Let's say that you're the manager at a McDonald's and you put somebody on fries and you tell them that they need to make 2 orders of fries. And they go, nope, I'm just going to make 1 order of fries and we'll split that order of fries and we'll give them to the people because they don't deserve to have the full order of fries. And they constantly doing that after you constantly tell them, make a full order of fries, right? They've ordered a large, give them a large. If they want a large, you give them a large. You being a stinking liberal, you don't get to dictate what people can and can't have, but that's exactly what they're doing here. And one of the ladies that's on here, she refused to give, if I'm not mistaken, this is the same one, okay? She refused to give Mel Gibson his Second Amendment rights back because they had something on there because he wanted to be able to conceal carry, to my understanding. She refused to fill the paper. She refused to fulfill the paperwork so that he can get his rights back. She refused to do it. So they fired her, rightfully so. When people, me personally, when you go and you pay your debt to society, I think that's the whole point. Your debt is cleared. You should be considered a free American citizen at that point. Why do we continue to penalize people? If you're going to let them free, then you let them be free American citizens. And some people go, but well, Will Johnson, what if they did X, Y, Z? Then why are they even out? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Why are they even out? Okay. I want to share this again. Now, remember the last week I did a Give, Send, Go, and I was asking people if you would bless me to help me replace my MAGA phone. And here's my old MAGA phone. And I guess I need to go full screen on this. This is the original one that I have. I'm going to retire it. I put my UAF stickers all over it. You know, I put all my stickers all over it. And these are really heavy. These are really heavy. I carry it around, but it's really heavy. But anyways, I did a Give, Send, Go, and people blessed me to replace it because this one is retired. It's 10 years old. It's done its job. And now the one people blessed me with the Give, Send, Go is here. And I just got it. I got it yesterday evening. I was hoping to have it, for Saturday. But Shannon, there's an event coming up this Saturday. There's another leftist event coming up this Saturday.
I will not be there.
So let's go. Let's get ready to rumble. It's on.
They're going to have something every weekend. It's going to be just like the first time.
Well, I gotta go utilize it.
You can go.
I gotta go utilize
Will
it.
cannot get enough of those people.
Oh my goodness.
He has a problem.
But this one has a recorder on it.
It does.
So I can constantly,
cool
I can have something. If I want to take a break, I can just have the recorder going on it. And it has I can hook Bluetooth to it. I mean, this one is a lot lighter. It's like 5 pounds lighter. It's crazy.
So much lighter.
Yes. Excuse me. The allergies kicking my butt here. Okay. But I just want to say thank you for all my supporters, all my viewers. Thank you so much. God bless you. I can't even express it enough how I appreciate you so much. I really do. I really do. Okay. Now here's the ringleader of this shadow government. And that's exactly what it is. And they need to call it for what it is. Here's the ringleader of the shadow government. And the whole purpose of the shadow government, for those of you that don't know, is to have someone in place of every person that President Trump has in his cabinet. So they've appointed different people, someone to shadow Marco Rubio, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., Pete Hegseth, every single person, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, every single person that has been confirmed in President Trump's cabinet, they have appointed someone to shadow them, meaning that every single time they do something, they implement something, the shadow government comes in and put a shadow over what it is that they're doing and tell them to stop. You have to wait before you can do anything that President Trump has directed you to do. Even though President Trump is the executive branch, they create the shadow government to tell people in President Trump's cabinet and the American people that we got this covered. We will let them know if they can proceed or not with the directives from President Trump. What does this sound like to you? What does this sound like to you? And the very fact that they're proceeding on with this, and not a single Republican that I have seen, not even Marjorie Taylor Greene, not Jim Jordan, None of the Republicans, Mike Johnson even, right? None of the Republicans have come out and said that this shadow government is unlawful. Not a single one of them. They're all silent about it. And I don't understand why they're not saying anything. Adam Schiff being the ringleader of all of this, one of the ringleaders, again, he's low-hanging fruit. I don't know why Pam Bundy, and then again, maybe, just maybe, here's me doing wishful thinking, just maybe, they're allowing them to dig this hole that they're getting into. And once they got all of this and say, you did X, Y, Z, military tribune comes in.
I mean, I kind of feel like
that could be the case.
I feel like they're just in their own echo chamber, right?
They are in their own echo chamber. Talking about the Democrats, but I don't understand why the Republicans are not saying anything about this. Unless they're all in it saying, let them dig their own graves.
But even they should come out and just say that.
But they should still say something like, look, they're going to regret that they're doing this. They could say that, but they're not saying anything. So again, if the press secretary comes on live, we're going to go to her, okay? Just to let you know. But listen to Adam Schiff.
Extraordinary step of convening this unprecedented hearing. We brought together both chambers of Congress, the Senate and the House, to conduct real oversight and to serve as a check and balance, to hold those who misuse power to account and to carry out our constitutional duty. Convening this hearing was not our first choice. We have tried to get our Republican colleagues to hold hearings, to do meaningful oversight, to assert Congress's authority as an independent branch of government. But to our great disappointment, our Republican colleagues have abdicated that important responsibility. They have stood by as the president has run roughshod over the legislative branch and turned Congress into little more than a rubber stamp.
Are you hearing this? Are you hearing this? Because Congress is not operating the way that he wants it to operate, and the Democrats, they have this shadow government. I mean, my goodness, people, this is like so much in our faces, and they don't care. This is unconstitutional what they're doing.
I can't even believe that they think this kind of behavior is the right thing to do. They are so power hungry. And they hate Trump so much that they can't get past themselves. They can't do what's right for the country.
No, they can't. Listen.
So today we'll hold the first of what we hope will be more bicameral oversight hearings. We will do the investigative work that our colleagues across the aisle refuse to do. We will expose the illegality, abuse, and corruption of this administration and within the Department of Justice. We will have brave witnesses speak to what's actually happening behind closed doors, how the Trump administration continues to try to intimidate them from speaking out, and why it matters to Americans across the country. The Trump administration is following a well-worn playbook. History serves as a guide and as a warning. In the 1930s, a Jewish lawyer in Berlin tracked in meticulous detail how Germany gradually became what he called a dual state. First, to keep the country running, the ordinary legal system remained in place for most people.
Wait a minute. What? Isn't that what they're trying to do? Trying to create a dual state? Isn't that what the shadow government is all about?
I have never, ever.
This is so
in a government
far-reaching.
Anywhere where they have literally one party has gone and done hearings completely completely without the other party being in the room, creating a total narrative with, I'm like, what is happening?
I know,
These Democrats are so tyrannical. They want only what they want. They could care less that most Americans voted for Trump. They could care less that all the good things that Trump is doing. They want to twist good things into bad things so you will hate Trump. But you know what the reality is? Well, there's a lot of people that are starting to hate them and what they're doing and their rhetoric. And they're starting to see through it. Yeah. These people are drenched with power hunger.
Oh my goodness. It's like unbelievable.
I mean, I cannot believe this is happening.
It really is.
This is not a small thing.
No, this is not. It's unbelievable that they're going to this length. I mean, and they're not even hiding the fact that this is what they're doing with the whole shadow government. They're not even hiding it. It's like they're happy about this. And again, they're not the majority. So they're just having a hearing, like a get together, but they're making it like it's official. How is this not unlawful?
And yet, step by step, a parallel system of governance and law emerged, what one scholar called a lawless zone. A parallel system carry out the will of the leader and to go after his enemies, real or perceived, to punish, to reward, to co-opt, to intimidate, silence, or take over institutions that make a society free and vibrant, the courts, the lawyers, the universities, the press, even businesses. And over time,
oh my goodness, he has his nerves. He's talking about the courts, the press,
Schools,
even businesses,
universities have been
use
indoctrinated by the
all of
liberal
these.
left.
They use all of these
All of them.
to censor conservatives,
They've weaponized
to
all
get
of them.
conservatives fired from their jobs. They went to the businesses. They went to the big tech companies. They were the ones that were trying to hinder our free speech. And the shadow government, they're not for the Constitution. The shadow government is 100% against the U.S. Constitution. I know Adam Schiff was completely an imbecile, but he's taken it to the next level. I've constantly told people, and not to get people like all worked up and alarmed, but I've constantly told people that these evil Democrats, they're going to do something extremely dramatic. Extremely dramatic. What that is, you guess.
This is dramatic.
No, I'm talking about even worse than this. I'm talking about this is no. I'm not disagreeing with you, but this is extremely dramatic. But what I'm referring to is I'm talking about total chaos. They're going to do something and want to blame it on President Trump. They need the chaos to happen. They need the animosity. They need destruction, and they're going to try to blame President Trump for it when they're not doing anything to work with President Trump. I've never, ever, ever in my entire time looking at any politics saw any Republicans create a shadow government to go against the Democrat that's in the White House. I've never seen it happen. How were they getting a pass to do this? And they adopted this from a European country, because I forget what country it is. Maybe it's the UK, but they have what they call.
Oh, that's right. They do have.
They have a shadow government there.
I think they call it like the opposition party.
The opposition party.
Yeah.
But they have given their opposition party power and authority over the elected government of the people. That's what they're trying to attempt to do here. They want to grab power over what we, the American people, elected to be our representatives. That's what they're trying to do here. 77 million people voted for President Trump, over 77 million. And they're trying to disenfranchise every single person that voted for President Trump. That is their goal here. 100%. And it's just blatantly disgusting. Blatantly disgusting. Well, let me share something else with you that the Democrats are upset about. And of course, they're against the rule of law. The Supreme Court justice ruled in favor of President Trump, per se. Now, basically what ended up happening is that they took the case from the activist judge and they gave it to another judge in Texas. And the judge in Texas is going to rule if the people need to be deported or not. Hopefully that the judge that is appointed this task now is not a radical leftist judge, but a judge that will adhere to the U.S. Constitution. But nonetheless, the Trump administration should take this as a win. They should take it as a win. If they can get it away from a radical leftist judge, then by all means, get it away from them, because they're not there to uphold the law, apparently. Now, I would agree to an extent that if you detain somebody, just verify. Just verify. But at the same time, if you pick up somebody, apparently they've been observing these people for some time. So what's going to end up happening? So ICE and the FBI, the DOJ, they've been observing these people. They pick them up, and now the judge needs to look at it to make sure that the people that are in the FBI, the DOJ, all of a sudden the Democrats are concerned about them doing the law, upholding the law the correct way. Now all of a sudden they're concerned about it. But the judge is going to have to look to see, okay, this person here, and I guarantee that these leftist organizations are going to throw a lot of money and have lawyers there and try to say, just because this person was associated with this gang, doesn't mean that he's a violent gang member. He got to go. They're going to spend a lot of money trying to defend that. You got to go. And they're going to say, well, just because they have tattoos don't mean they should be deported. No, they got to go, because the tattoos don't say, I love mom. They don't. The tattoos typically show that the number of people that they've probably taken their lives from and just other horrific crimes, because they are proud of it. Well, I want you to listen to this. Here's a report about what just happened.
And here we go. A Fox News alert. The Supreme Court giving a major boost to President Trump's border agenda, clearing the way for deportation flights to resume using the Alien and Enemies Act after an Obama-appointed judge tried to block it. Let's bring in the Attorney General for the United States, Pam Bondi. Madam Attorney General, thank you so much for joining the program.
Thank you. Good morning. It's a great day for America, and it's a great day to be a Florida Gator.
Well, yes, it is. More news on that later, Madam Attorney General. But let's talk about what the court did. Essentially, they didn't rule when it comes to the Aliens and Enemy Act. What they said was this was the wrong venue, that the D.C. Circuit Court had no jurisdiction over that. But they also said, listen, if there's due process, then they have to do it through the normal channels, through a habeas writ. So what is the administration reaction to all that the Supreme Court just said yesterday?
Well, Lawrence, this is a landmark victory for the rule of law. And this is what we've been arguing on behalf of President Trump from day one. These are enemies of our state, of our country, and they should be deported. And what the judge ruled was, going forward, from this day forward, all those planes that are gone are there. Those people are staying. So there are a lot of reasons why Americans are safer. From this point forward, the hearing will be held, it's a habeas hearing, in the court of confinement, which means in Texas.
Yeah.
Let me stop it really quick. I had high hopes for Pam Bondi. And, people are starting to recognize how many times she runs over and jump on Fox News to talk about, oh, look what I've done. Look what I've done. We're getting MS-13 out of here. We're finding MS-13 that's been here for many years, and we're deporting them. We're cleaning up the streets of MS-13. Look, that's good. I mean, I'm all for that. By all means, get him out the country. No, I don't think anyone is going to argue with you on that. The problem is that her, and now even Kash Patel, that did a lot of talking, everybody. I mean, a lot of talking. Before President Trump won the election, her, along with Kash Patel, was doing so many interviews, so much talk about how they're going to get these people that have corrupted our system. MS-13 didn't corrupt our system. And just maybe, they're getting rid of MS-13, which I consider to be part of the foot soldiers for the Democrat Party. Maybe they're getting rid of their foot soldiers before they actually go out and start getting some of this other low-hanging fruit. But what they're getting right now is not even hanging fruit. The fruit has fallen to the ground. They're just picking it up and deporting this trash now. But there's still low-hanging fruit that they could be going after, and they should at least go after, get one of them. See, I've realized this ever since I've been doing any kind of commentary on any of this stuff, that if the Democrat Party, MSDNC, CNN, Communist News Network, if none of them, the left, if none of them are complaining about the work that they are doing, meaning Pam Bondi, Cash Patel, if they're not complaining about them, that means they're not doing their jobs. Now, of course, you got some of the left complaining that they're deporting these hardcore criminals. Okay, yeah. Because I believe that the Democrats brought them into the country to cause chaos, animosity when they want it to happen. But they're getting rid of their foot soldiers. I call them their foot soldiers. The Democrat Party hasn't said that out loud, but I see them as the foot soldiers. Talking about MS-13, foot soldiers for the Democrat Party. Because it hasn't been an excuse why they wanted them all in the country in the first place. Because they're not here to get jobs, to live a peaceful life, have families. They're not here to do that. They're here to run drugs. They're here to, crime. But I just want to say that about Pam Bondi. I'm trying to, right now, I'm still trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. I really am. But I'm having a hard time. I really am. Because there's not been a single indictment by all of these people that have corrupted our political system. Not a single charge, not a single time has she gone on Fox News and said anything about Adam Schiff, Fauci, Christopher Wray, Mayorkas. She has said nothing. Mayorkas is the reason why she's having to go round up MS-13. Why are you not going to the source? I don't understand. I don't understand that. And, I know a lot of people, I'm looking in the comments, I think a lot of people would agree to that. What is she doing? Where's Cash Patel? I mean, the biggest thing that I've seen Cash Patel do was go stand next to her talking about MS-13 again. And he did a FBI video for recruitment. Cash Patel did more talking than she did. And I'm not seeing any results. And how long have they been there? Now, I just had to put that out there for my rant. I just had to put that out there.
So it will be a much faster hearing. They can't do class actions. It will be a much smoother, simpler hearing. And these people will be deported. Americans are safer. And domestic terrorists, foreign terrorists, you better look out because we're coming after you. I'd start self-deporting if I were you because we're going to find you.
So, Madam Attorney General, let's get this on record because I think it's important for the audience to understand. Going forward, there's no shopping as it relates to immigration anymore. If someone is detained and scheduled for a deportation, they can no longer shop across the country for a judge, a liberal leading judge. And now all the cases going forward have to go to that Texas judge. Is that correct?
Correct, Lawrence, and that's what was happening. These liberal district judges thought that they could control our entire country's policy, Donald Trump's policy, on keeping America safe. They cannot do it, and this was, again, a landmark ruling for the rule of law yesterday, and it's so important because these flights will now continue. These terrorists, they are foreign terrorists, they are alien enemies to our country, and we will continue to deport them. We are going to keep America safe, and a liberal district judge is not going to stop us. And that's what the Supreme Court ruled yesterday.
So, Madam Attorney General, let's talk about the judge in D.C., Boasberg. There's a hearing scheduled today. Will that happen? I mean, this is essentially over. Will he still try to use some type of power that he has?
There is a hearing scheduled today at 3 p.m. He is not canceling the hearing. He is continuing on with the hearing, but the Supreme Court has spoken loud and clear. He has no jurisdiction. That flight will remain in El Salvador. Those inmates, those violent gang members, those violent alien enemies will remain in El Salvador. He cannot get them back. So his jurisdiction is over. So we'll see what he says today at 3 p.m. But going forward, these terrorists better look out.
Let's talk about this.
Why would anyone want to bring the hardcore criminals back to the country? Y'all understand my question? And again, for those of you just tuning in, I'm like serious I'm under the weather. Allergies kicking my butt. And I do apologize. I'm trying to push through here, I'm trying to push through here. I do apologize. So it's just allergies kicking my butt. Most of y'all know what I'm talking about. I never experienced anything like this before. I didn't have this. I don't know what's my body's changing or something, but it's like it got me. I got my box here, okay. But to get back to it, I don't understand why. How is it that people don't recognize that these judges are trying to bring back these hardcore criminals? And again, it goes right back to what I was saying a second ago, that I believe that they're trying to keep their hardcore foot soldiers here in America. So if and when the Democrats do pop off something really crazy, that we will have experienced just total chaos, worse than the Summer of Love by the left. And of course, they'll try to work it out to where they can blame President Trump. And I think that's the only reason why they haven't kicked it off, because they're trying to figure out how to make it look like this is something that President Trump caused. Because even to this day, they're still trying to say President Trump, he caused the Summer of Love. Even to this day, they're still trying to say that. And President Trump had nothing to do with it. The cities that they burned down during that time had nothing to do with any of it. But they were opportunists, and they took that opportunity to try to burn down cities and all the other horrific crimes that they were doing during that time. Well, I want you to listen to here's a report from the Newsmax talking about what the Supreme Court has done.
Senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano said the illegal immigrants who are detained are entitled to a notice of an opportunity to challenge their removal. Basically, they need to have a hearing because before they are deported.
So the victories for the administration are the case is no longer before Judge Boasberg. It is moved to a federal district court judge in Texas. Why Texas? Because Texas is the place where the migrants are housed after they are rounded up and before they are transported out of the United States. The setback for the administration is that each one of these migrants is entitled to a hearing at which the government must prove that they are here illegally, that they are from an enemy country, and that they have a propensity to do harm, and at which, of course, they can challenge the hearing.
Right.
Had this fellow that's improperly in El Salvador had a hearing, the court would have prevented him from being deported. He, of course, that's the other case now. That's the case where he was ordered to be returned by 11:59 last night. The Chief Justice alone blocked that order. That block is only valid for 48 hours, during which he must count the heads of the other members of the court. I would imagine he took a head count ahead of time before he signed that order.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. They got tattoos, and again, the tattoos don't say "I love mommy." None of them say that. None of the tattoos say that. And the Democrats seeing this image with these hardcore, just despicable monsters, some of the horrific things that they've done. Why would anybody advocate for these people to be on the streets of America? Why would they do that? Because they like animosity, they like chaos, and they are of their father, Satan. Did you know MS-13 is considered to be a Satanist organization? Did you know that, Shannon?
I mean, they're demonic. So.
They actually they found these shrines where they have like a satanic rituals and have this just horrible things, right? And that's what MS-13 is about. They've done so many horrible things, and the Democrats are advocating for them. I don't get it. I really don't.
Yeah.
I really don't.
It just shows where they are in this political climate. They're on the side of protecting the guilty, the rapist, the illegals, the people breaking our laws. They are not for Trump getting rid of big government and bureaucracy. They want to keep it because it's the way that they funnel their money. I mean, there's so many things going on right now, but to me, the Democrats are just exposing who they are and how they are.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, and a lot of people are finally starting to see it. And people used to ask me, Will, why do you call them Democrats? And now it just goes without saying, because now people are starting to see what I was seeing. And I'm not saying everybody's starting to see it. There's a lot of people that completely, when I first started saying that, a lot of people are like, man, yes, that's exactly what it is. I mean, look at all the evil things that the Democrat Party supports. Which brings me to this one. This is your Congresswoman, Shannon, Jasmine Crockett. She's yours, not mine. And I want y'all to listen to what she says, because the Democrat Party has never changed. You know how they constantly say that, well, there was a switch. A switch took place. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. And when I first heard that, I didn't know how to react to it. Because to be honest with you, full transparency, I didn't know the actual history. And I'm being honest with you. So then I started doing my research, and I said, I need to know why they are saying that the party switched, because it didn't make sense. Like, oh, okay, the party switched because now at one point the Democrat Party was for, and they were for slavery, against women voting, black people voting. The Democrat Party against, you've heard all of this before, right? You've heard all civil rights. They were all against it. Well, and then supposedly all of a sudden, over a time period or something clicked or something happened. None of them ever actually say exactly what happened to make the switch happen. They just say the switch took place. They didn't say on a specific date. Some of them will say, well, it happened over a period of time, right? Kind of like what they're saying, like man came from fish to monkeys to man over a period of time. But yet you can't find any fossils of a fish turning into a monkey and a monkey turning into a man. There's no fossils, but there should be, right? Because we're talking about maybe not millions, but, hundreds of thousands of people at some point turning from a monkey to a man, or fish to a monkey. And how many fish flopped out the water and trying to breathe? Because if you're a fish, you're in water and you flop out the water, you're going to end up dying because you live in water. You don't automatically just start growing lungs, but they've convinced people throughout the years that transition has happened at some point. I just don't get it. But why am I bringing that up? Because Jasmine Crockett is talking about what happened after the Democrat Party lost their slaves the first time. They were saying who's going to pick their crops, who's going to clean their homes, who's going to do their chores. This exact same thing that the Democrat Party was saying when they lost the war against the Republicans. It's not just they say, oh, it's the South versus the North. No, it's Democrats versus Republicans. Let's be real about it. And that's what they were screaming. Now I want y'all to listen to Jasmine Crockett. This is 2025. Listen to what she says about the illegals that have been deported out of the country. And when she's saying what she's saying, I want you to keep in mind and think about how it was when the Democrat Party first lost their slaves.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not.
Hey, actually, I have some things that I'm growing. I got some habaneros. I got some serranos because I like those hot peppers. I got some strawberries. Even have some what are the other ones? What's the tall ones with the ferns? It's completely blank right now.
Asparagus.
Asparagus. I even have asparagus, which is kind of weird. It takes forever for them to grow something. I even have some of those. So I'm trying to grow stuff. And I'm not expecting someone, from another country came here, illegally and crop it and pick it for me. I'll do it myself. So, yeah. But listen to her. She's a despicable person.
You're not. We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation.
You can't pay us enough to find a plantation. Well, who got to pay you to find a plantation when you're on the demon crap plantation? I mean, if you pay someone and we're like, this just giving money away. I don't understand. How do these people wake up every day and it's just in their minds? Well, I know what it is, and I've said it multiple times. They've been turned over to a reprobate mind. That's what it comes down to. They've been turned over to a reprobate mind. They believe all the wicked things that they're doing are good. They really do. But out of all of this, they still don't understand why they lost the election. They still don't understand why they're pushing all of this radical stuff that people are like, no, that's just too far. That's just doing too much. They can't comprehend why people voted for President Trump. Can you imagine that? Now, I know why I voted for President Trump. I completely know why. Because that wicked witch of the West, oh my goodness. Can y'all imagine if that wicked witch was in office right now? Oh my goodness. Ooh, talking about dodging a bullet like on the Matrix. For real. I mean, and they tried. They tried putting that wicked witch in there. I mean, we straight up dodged a bullet on that one. I'm so glad that she's not there. I can only imagine how the situation, the state, we're probably full on war with Russia right now. Israel would probably be in just, shambles right now. We would have more MS-13 in the country. The borders would be wide open. I mean, it would have been Joe Biden on steroids. So much worse. Christians would have been in deep doo-doo. Not just trouble, but deep doo-doo with her. And they still trying to say that Kamala Harris was black. They're still saying that. When she clearly has Indian heritage. And what is the problem with them just saying that she's Indian? I mean, what is wrong with that? Because I've never seen Kamala Harris come out and say that she was black. Now, I've seen videos where she talked about her Indian heritage. I've seen that all day long. But I've never seen a single video where Kamala Harris herself come out and say that she is black. But you have MSDNC. They're saying it for her. They're saying it for her. And they still don't get why you voted for President Trump. Listen.
I don't know what it's going to take for the American people, for 78 million Americans, to deal with what motivated them to make the choice to elect this man again, to make the choice that will allow these people to undermine every fundamental assumption we have, that you can just be disappeared, and then they can argue that, a court is getting in the way of their ability to exercise, foreign policy in some ways, right? I don't know what it's going to take for 78 million Americans to deal with what motivated them to make this choice. And the choice that they've made, we have to just be honest, is to literally throw the Republican to the trash bin. And this is just one example. The tariffs is another, right? They made the choice. Now, what was behind it?
I mean, how do you not know?
How do you not know to not embrace that they voted for him and that they voted for what they want? What's going to take you to embrace it?
Yeah,
because the only people I hear saying that anybody regrets anything is the Democrats. The people who voted for Trump, whether Democrat, Republican, or independent, are like, you know what? This is what I voted for.
Yeah. And I don't regret my vote either.
Yeah.
Is there anybody watching right now regret your vote for President Trump? That you voted for him? I don't. I mean, I'm so excited on what President Trump is doing. Look, I'm sorry. I got my box of Kleenex. I'm about to run out of this box.
Stop. We don't want to hear about that.
I'm just letting people know why I got the cough because of the allergies. She's laughing at me over there. She's dying over there laughing at me, everybody. Oh, my goodness. Look, it happens. It happens. But look, one thing she did give me credit. She said, you're still a trooper, Will, because you're still here doing it. Going through all this. She said, you're still a trooper. She said, you're a trooper in my book. Okay, let me get back to some of this insanity here. While I try to cough off camera here.
We have to grapple with it because it's the snake, it's the beast coiled up in the heart, the bosom of the country, as Frederick Douglass said. And the fact that they are doubling down on this shows you what kind of human beings they actually are.
Say more.
Did you hear her? She said, say more. Did you hear? At least that's what I heard she said. She goes,
I guess that's what she said.
She goes, say more. Say more. Oh, yeah. We got a black man
you're
on
the one-
MSDNC and trying to tell the American people, we just don't understand why you voted for him. We just don't understand. Look what he's doing. President Trump has them PO'd. President Trump has them so ticked off. And you know what? Like I said earlier, as long as they're angry, that means President Trump is doing his job. That's what's happening here.
You know, when I think about these people, I think when it comes to the end of time, are they going to look back and go, wow, I was so deceived. I was so wrapped up and the devil used me.
That's a really good question.
To create division and hate in our world.
Yeah, that's a really good question.
What kind of human beings they actually are.
Say more.
Say more.
We chose a felon who is more interested in loyalty, who's more interested in retribution, who's more interested in grift than in democracy. And we chose a felon because we didn't want to elect a black woman.
What?
I mean, are you kidding me? Are you seriously kidding me? We chose a felon because we did not want to elect a black woman. What black woman was on the ticket? I want to know.
I mean, I know
what black woman did they have on the ticket? There were none. It wasn't Michelle Obama.
What does he say?
Some question about that being a woman, huh?
Speaking of Obama, what does he think about Obama not wanting her?
You know, that's a really good question too.
I mean,
Obama
he
didn't
really
want her.
tried not to get her on the ticket.
Yeah, Obama didn't want her.
He black.
Is he?
Well, at least part.
Trump is more black than he is. I'm telling you right now. I mean, think about it. Trump is the player. I mean, you know, like I saw this video where they were talking about, you know, Trump. I mean, come on, Trump got he got some baby mamas. He's a baller.
I mean, he's a billionaire.
He's a billionaire.
Look at Elon, he's the same way.
He used to go to these radio stations with these hip hop artists, and he would just show up in the radio station, and they love the fact that he was there.
There are women that are attracted to money, and you will look like you will look like the most handsome guy in the world just because you got money.
Yeah, I mean, look at Flavor Flav. Look at Elon Musk. He is not attractive. Elon Musk is not attracted to you
either. But
what? Trump was a handsome young man. He looked like Byron.
He was more.
Byron's a handsome young man.
Byron is more handsome than his dad.
Well, it typically happens that way.
So to read that, to actually explicate that, is to say we would rather destroy the republic than for that to have happened. And until we grapple with it, there's no amount of protesting I could do. There's no amount of resistance that could come into play to actually force 78 million people to grapple with what motivated them to put themselves in this position.
I mean, come on.
We know what motivated us.
I mean,
his problem is he doesn't understand that people don't want what you offered. The Democrat Party did not offer them what the American dream. It did not offer us to be #1 exporter of natural gas. It did not offer us more jobs. It offered us more bureaucracy, more illegals taking over our country. They were given more benefits and access than the American people. They didn't want that.
No,
they didn't want woke ideology. They wanted that out of our school systems and out of our businesses.
It's just so much.
But see,
they still haven't figured it out. That's the reason why they lost. That's the reason they did all this stuff to try to get President Trump, and it didn't work. So, hey, let me remind everybody right now, if you go to my website, you can get this beautiful t-shirt as of right now, but I still need your help. I still need your help. If you can go to the Give, Send, Go, my producer, she put it right there at the top of the webpage too. If you can go to givesendgo.com/website, help me to continue to keep my website up.
Oh,
I need your
we
help.
did get another contribution.
We got another one?
GLO. I said, will trust in the Lord with all your heart, mind,
thank you.
body, and soul. Be still and know God is blessing you and Shannon each day. Well,
Wow.
thank you so much.
Thank you so
We
much. Thank you
appreciate
so
the
much.
prayers and the
Absolutely. And
little
look,
notes too.
anything you can bless me with, anything that God puts on your heart to help me to keep my website up. Because you know the left, they would love to see me fail. They would love to see it. Say, oh, and I can tell you right now, some of them go, where's your God at now? Where's your God at? You know, because you keep talking about God. Because the left, you know how they reject God. They really do. So if you would, please go to my website, UnitedAmericaFirst.com, right at the top. Or you can go to givesendgo.com/website, and you'll see this right here. You see my picture up there. I put the hourglass there because time is running out for me. I really need your help. I really need your help. If God puts it on your heart, please. I'm telling you, anything and everything helps. I don't complain. I'm just asking you to help me, bless me. Let's show these people what God's people can do. Can you help me with that? I would greatly appreciate it. All right, everybody, that's it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you tomorrow, Wednesday. Hopefully I'll be better. I'm getting a little bit better than I was yesterday, I think, but it's just really getting to me. God bless everyone. Stay safe out there.